I'm actually thinking... Oh, right, the timer is counted down, and since we had a swift departure from our last stream, I suppose I should do a bit of a recap here. I made this map of Europe. I took a height map, imported it into the game. I manually added resources, which makes somewhat historical sense. We'll go with that. If I can believe it, you can too. And we've placed 7 cities here. We've got Iberia, France, Germany, Commonwealth, Scandinavia, Russian Empire, and Balkans. The goal of this campaign is to save Christmas Tinner. This is a Christmas Tinner. Doesn't it look good? Man, I'd want to sink my teeth into that gelatinous blob. How are we going to do that in-game? In this game, you are able to create the pre-made Christmas Tinner. You're going to have an industry that can create straight-up chicken dinners, berry pies, and the container, and that will be able to prototype the Christmas Tinner itself. It's a long journey to get there. I'll have to have supply lines for at a glance here. Olive oil, potatoes, vegetables, and chicken. And I think we need salt there to... Salt isn't good. Is that sugar? What are they using to fry that chicken, I wonder? We need access to dough. Oh, it's flour, of course. Flour, water, berries, sugar, plastic for cutlery. Just lots and lots of things are needed in order to put this tinner together. So straight away there's going to be agriculture. There's going to be animal husbandry. Do you call it husbandry for chickens? Let's assume that you do. Decent access to water for growing the berries and watering the vegetables, getting our dough, and we still need something petrochemically in order to get our hands on that plastic cutlery. Now that's a long way off. I'm going to need income to get us there. Now, yeah, I think I will be starting in France. There's a lot of jokes one can make about France, but in this case they're going to have to be my bread basket. My actual bread basket for getting my bread, I suspect, is going to be... Am I going to put you here? I don't like making double... whatever. In you go. We'll commit to France. Where are my friends placing themselves? Right LLC. I only have 2 because I forgot to set a 3rd competitor here. Right LLC and Life LLP. Oh, that's going to get confusing. Where did... Oh, right, they went in Scandinavia, so we're pretty heavy on the eastern side of the map. Nobody wanted to go for Iberia, which might be one of the stronger places here, since it already has access to an ironmongery. I will probably want to make use of that. So. The question is, what do I want to do? I would quite like to exploit the British Isles as soon as possible, because they've got good access to coal and there's copper. Come to think of it, with coal, and coal, France hilariously has access to all the coal on the map, I dare say. So I might want to think about how to put that best to use. The downside, I suppose, is that I can't actually put a road over to there. I need access to bridges, and bridges are... Well, I think it would be 2 techs. Yeah, I'd need to get urban roads and bridges, and I can't get this tier of tech for free. I'd have to pay for that. So exploiting Britain's going to be off the cards until we get some initial industry going up. So we'll take a look at this and look for any good synergies. Growing sheep is a great idea, because I can sell mutton and I can sell wool. The coal can straight up be sold, so I should exploit that coal, send my pollution over to Germany, and bring in the juicy profits to France's hardware store. So coal is straight up being done. Fortunately, I do not need to research how to do coal. Don't I? I'm sure it's here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. We already know how to get coal. You can always exploit the base ingredients off the land, I believe. LLC is in Health and Hamsterland. Jake, can you rename their business? I don't think I can rename businesses. Well, I'm quite certain that I cannot rename businesses. If I click on this, all I can do is buy them up, and I would do that to destroy them. Thinking again about what we're going to do here, any of these base ingredients would be fine enough to build up and produce, but what I will have my mind on is producing goods for the Iberian ironmongery, because that's going to be pretty big bucks there. Cans is made of steel, which I think I'd need iron for, but anything that I can make out of copper or coal would be good for these guys. I can't get to the copper just yet, but it is something to consider. See, glass and sand for ceramics. Ceramics sell for big bucks, and glass only needs sand and coal. Can I sell sand to you? I can. So a clever thing to do would be to go heavy on sand and coal, make glass into ceramics and sell there. I do wonder if there's a demand for glass at all. Doesn't look like it. Tech tree, talk to me about glass. Where would glass even come under? Glass and metallurgy. Okay, there's a bit of a problem there. Ceramics are tier 3. That's a little bit too far away for poor little me. Is there anything else that I could reasonably make here? See, access to iron ore would be amazing here, but those blasted Germans have control of the iron. Me, I've reasonably just got coal. But it would be a good idea to prepare myself for that by harvesting sand and selling it here, and harvesting that coal to sell to here. There's no real problem with getting wood as well, since it's pretty much free to do. It doesn't cause pollution. It should just continue to make me money if I set aside a place that I don't want polluted for it. And over here seems reasonably enough. If I can make Brittany into essentially my forest area, or forestry area, I'd rather have a long strip. I might just make this strip of land my forestry area. A bit far to go for the selling, but that's okay. So we'll sell wood, we'll sell sand, and sell coal. I don't think I want to get into growing things just yet, because that's going to mean I have to deal with water more than I want to. How does a sand collector work anyway? The sand collector harvests from coastal tiles along any body of water. Okay, so I will have to do coastal things. I don't know if this produces pollution. I'm going to assume and hope that it does not. And since I have the game paused, I can undo these whenever I want. I'm being told the music is a touch loud, which is very off-putting since this game loves to be way too loud when I'm on the title screen. But there we go, that should be it relatively taken care of. Never done these before, but looks like they operate exactly like the water harvesters. So that makes my life easier. How much sand do you get? Every 15 days you're going to get 3, and France demands 7. So having 2 of these will work out to my great advantage here. Place you there as well, and go a 1, a 2, a 3. They're all going to need to deliver it into town. Hopefully this doesn't get too busy. I'm already seeing this becoming a choke point as these guys go in and out of here and these guys try to pass by. So I could do it a different way, but I could also not. So let's just have you head on up to there. We'll just tell them to directly sell. The goals for this campaign, well, the game is going to tell me I win if I produce 100 Christmas tinners, but for me, I'll be happy once Europe is suitably cluttered in my industry. Once every region, at least, is hopelessly exploited for whatever we choose it to be exploited with. So that'll be plenty of sand to get some initial dosh coming in. The problem is, for me, France doesn't really pay very well for the sand. It doesn't pay well for wood either. But at least those industries should pay for themselves and then some without having to wait too long. Does mean though that I want to get on it because it's essentially free money. Still kind of want to do Brittany. I just wish Brittany wasn't so... Well, this elevated land here is hurting me, and if I were to flatten it, it would very swiftly cost me millions of dollars, which I should not be looking to spend right now. So we'll gather our lumber here. Nothing stopping me from destroying everything that I build here and making it better later on. How are we gonna do this, though? Probably quite akin to how I did it previously. A 1, a 2, and oh, straight away I'm getting done in by this. I love you, Europa, but your varied terrain really gets in my way sometimes. There we go. I will want 2 lumber yards straight away. Put you there for now. There's probably a much more efficient way to lay these out, but the way I see it, once I have a lot of efficiency stuff researched, I can tear these down and do them again. Essentially, this will be where we start and build up our money, and then I'll probably do a lot more optimal business elsewhere, and then tear this down and make it better later on. That's how I see this going, although whether or not that's how it's going to go is a different matter. Hardware store. Weird Al Yankovic did a brilliant song about being in a hardware store. Good lord, I pay a lot of money. I'm essentially losing half of the money I make on that just delivering it, so I'm probably going a little too far. But let's not worry about it. I'm quite certain I will still make my money on it happily enough. So with wood coming in and with sand coming in, the next step will be getting ourselves that coal. Trains? We don't have access to trains yet, but I will be covering Europe in my train network later on. I've never done coal mining before, so let's see how it works. Well, for one, it doesn't work very well because this land is too turbulent for me to build on. And I need these things to be in range, so I'm probably going to have to flatten this down a bit. He hates to do it, because terraforming is so expensive, but there we go. Get me that coal, please. I kind of wish I had my coal on this side now that I think about it, so that pollution that I'm going to spread. Can I undo my terraforming? No, it only does building placement. Damn, I would undo that and put it over here, just so my pollution spills over to Germany rather than into my own glorious land. Alright, but I still think I want to do that. If I can put my coal mine here, all I gotta do is flatten this out to be something of a 5x5. Missing a oh, it doesn't let me flatten that part of it. That might be more agreeable. Disadvantaging myself here at the very start, how could I? And that seems to grab all of the coal, so we're going to harvest that coal. Again, never done harvesting before. Doesn't look like it needs road connection though. How convenient for me. There we go, we can only have 3 harvesters, we probably need tech to get more of it. Still, that's alright, so I'm going to get 3 of those every 15 days. And then it's going to be sent over to here as soon as possible along this rather crummy dirt road. Could we not have a significantly better way of doing this? I think we can. If I do that, I'm trying to cut down on my transport costs here. So if it gets there as efficiently as possible without turning back on itself. There, did you hear me, game? Well, that's pretty good. That doesn't go back on itself that much. Wait, it doesn't seem to want to build this. What's your problem? There we go. So now the coal mine sends off its coal. Happy as happy can be. We're probably more efficient to pack it into a warehouse first, so I can pack 2 to a truck. But then I'd have to pay for the warehouse and its upkeep cost. So, lucky me, we're going to have 3 goods coming in from the very start, and I'm not even satisfied with that. because we haven't used any of our techs. So, question is, what else do we want to have here? You know, I might as well turn to chat for this sort of thing. Almost everything we see here is stuff that we can produce for France. So we could do vegetables or tatés, grapes, chickens, although chickens would be a waste because I have nowhere to sell the eggs here. Mutton, so we could do sheep, cocoa, sugar, hops. Yeah, I could even produce rubber. So, since it doesn't really matter to me which way we take it, what does chat want to do? Neefington says that we should obviously do grapes. We are in France, that does make a lot of sense. However, I have 3 techs that I can unlock, so I'm not limited to just doing grapes. We will, however, do our grapes. Good thinking. So we go over to it's probably under drinks, to our grapes, and we get that. We could make our grape juice. I would love to go down the wine-making route, but nobody wants our wine right now. Now, France's demand for grapes is 6 every 15 days. Oh, that means I'm going to need access to water. I think I might try a water well for once, since I didn't do that before. How are we gonna do this? Where should our orchards be? They should probably be as close as possible. Where's that farmer's market? It's over there. Do sand collectors make pollution? I don't think so. It says 0 per day. But they're probably going to transport other stuff that will make pollution up here, so let's not have them that close. I suppose this land looks fine enough for producing our grapes. So. We'll slam you down here and have 1, 2, 3 for now. And there we go, 2 per field, so just one of these orchards is actually going to fulfill all of our needs for quite some time. I already don't like the way I've put it. I've made a lot of useless dead space here, haven't I? Bye-bye. Wasn't happy with that. Although I still don't have in my head great efficient ways of doing this, my heart was telling me that that was not the answer. I wonder if they mind that I do it this close to the city, or are they going to get all sorts of mad with me? It's probably not a good idea overall, though, is it? Probably not. Let's put it over here. Ah well. Like I said, I will do more efficient layouts later on. For now, though, this'll do. Of course, this thing isn't going to operate without water, and I am going to use a water well rather than doing it by the water, just because I haven't used the water well before, and I fancy changing that. So I'm going to establish my water well here. I'm immediately going to note that that cost me 150. The water siphon would have been cheaper. How much are your harvesters? 100,000. But I think you work at the same speed. 100,000 each. Let me do a comparison to the water maker. Or the water siphon, rather. Oh yeah, Grivens, you're saving 25k on that. Well, the more you know, but I want to try out the water well. The water well would harvest slower if I was using complex harvesting times, but I really don't like those. That involves a lot more mental arithmetic that I'm looking for in this sort of experience. This thing's going to be overproducing water though, I think. These guys need 1 per field every... Oh no, this is every 30 days, isn't it? Every 30 days you're going to make 6, so every 15 you're going to make 3. France wants more than that. So it's fine for me to make another orchard. That's good news for me. That way everything's going to work in tandem rather nicely. I don't know what it is about this game. In terms of doing everything, it's more clunky and more scuttery than doing it in Factorio, but just my heart tells me this is the game that I want to be playing. What a curse. Okay, very good. Give those orchards what they need. Make sure they keep 3 water on hand, although it'll never get to that point. But we could do even more. Orchard, not vineyard. Well, this is for making our grapes. The vineyard... Is the vineyard anything different? No, it's not. It just all comes under our orchard farms here. Apples, grapes, oranges, and rubber. So making rubber is not off the cards here. But hey, I turn to chat. We can produce any of these things except for gas and oil. So what else will we make France do? With the rest of my tech, I can consider what I want to get. Factory storage, one-ways, chemical scrubbers, air pollution reduction. I'm not sure I'm interested in any of that right now. I do want to start thinking about what I can do with that sand. See, I can make glass, but ceramics are what I'm after. Fromage, we don't have that. And trains wouldn't give us much of an advantage right now. I should see what I can sell to Germany since they're not far away. It might be some byproducts could be sold there. Oh, if I do rubber, they would take my rubber. Alright, France is going to turn into a bit of a rubber farm then. And I'll get the roads. It's nice to have these urban roads if nothing else. Where was that rubber under? Well, that's fine, I can just search for rubber. There we go. So now we make our rubber orchard. There's something funny about that. I just couldn't put my finger on what. So close and yet so far. Terraforming, help me out. Imagine if you didn't have access to terraforming, it would be incredibly rough. Set for raw rubber. This is before we just get a continent to do it for us. Now, what's the production of this? Every 30 days you make 2, so I'm going to want essentially 3 more rubber orchards. And putting them this far away is probably not ideal for me. So if I put another one here, and I move these orchards to the sides like so, I'm going to leave room for roads to come on through. This is definitely going to need redone later on. This is hideous. But that's okay. There we go. So you are going to be sending your rubber over here to the hardware store. And you will be doing much the same. But I need a second source of water for these poor buggers. And for these guys I might as well do water from here since it is cheaper. And it's going to be a whole lot closer as well. So we gather water with our own water siphon. Damn, there's bound to be a very efficient way to set this up and I don't have it in my head. A 1, a 2, and a done. Dirt road connects you up and connects you to there. And your destination is to fill up the rubber orchards. Totally got 3 excess. And there we go. It's been about half an hour. We can finally unpause and let our guys get to work. We can also take time to appreciate what Hamster and Health are doing up in the Russian Empire. Russian Empire is about heavy industry. God knows what they're going to grow as their 3rd shop here. But they got plenty of options. They could grow chickens quite easily. Feed them the grain, sell the excess grain, sell their eggs and their chicken here. They could do the same with sheep, mutton, wool. That would work out pretty well. But more than anything else, they've got access to oil and gas very close to where they would want to sell it. And if I was playing in Russia, I'd be exploiting that straight up. And so much flat land. Russia's a pretty strong choice. On top of that, immediate access to the state. Russia's downside is that in terms of land, it's not a lot. Commonwealth has more land. The Balkans have, jeez Louise, lots of land. Although they're still better off than Scandinavia. What's he doing straight away? He's getting a water well. For what, I don't know. Which difficulty is this, says Hattie. I think it's mostly on normal stuff. We do have simplified production times on it. I can't imagine who would want to play without that, though. It does stuff like this thing takes 25 days, this thing takes 10 days, and you have to do all sorts of mental maths to keep up with it. Not that that would be a problem for me. But why introduce it? Alright, it'll take a bit of time before any of this starts making me money. Interesting how the Russian problem would ever be a lack of land. Well, since nobody has started up in the Commonwealth will eventually go up for sale, and I somewhat suspect that Right LLC is going to be able to generate more money than Life LLP to buy out the Commonwealth. The game is moaning at me because my orchards don't have water, and I'm not surprised, but that's because the water siphon has yet to deliver its water. Speaking of, if you hit Alt, you can see how things are doing. And we'll add the 100%, even though I don't... Oh, that's probably the efficiency that I set them at. In that case, there's no point in having that, because I don't even have the tech unlocked, so there we go. This game's got good iconography. I'm a little bummed about my wood and my sand. Neither of those are going to make me money worth knowing. But it will help grow France. I suspect it'll help grow France. It better grow France. There we go, that building upkeep of 8,000 every month. I might even be selling my sand and my wood without making a profit on this, but that's alright. Is it alright? No, it's probably not alright. Well, that's alright. We'll make our money off of coal, rubber, and grapes if we have to. And yes, Gotland is on the map. I can't think of anything useful you could do with this slab of land. I'm sure we'll find some way to cover it in pollution. Right, what I'm not doing is researching, and I absolutely should be. What do I want to do? Well, I would make damn good money if I was selling ceramics down in Iberia. But ceramics need glass and the ceramics themselves, and that's going to take a long time. The question is there anything else that I could do better before then? And the answer is maybe not, but also maybe. What I could do is get access to bridges, so that I could get the copper in order to do coppery things. Yes, coppery things. Can we elaborate on that at all? Where are they even under? Home goods? Yeah, there we go. If I had access to the copper from Britain, I could do copper tubing and copper wiring. But, you know what? I'm going to get my ceramics anyway. Because ceramics I could very swiftly sell down to Iberia, and it would be much denser in terms of selling. They don't accept a lot of them though, that might be a problem. The demands for copper wiring and copper tubing are much higher. Whatever, we'll do ceramics. It'll allow me to put the sand to use at some point after all. Okay. I still want more rubber. I could be selling that rubber to Germany, and since rubber has a decent price, I wouldn't be losing out too much. I still think this area might become quite polluted in due time. But we'll do it anyway. So for that, I would have a new water well set up. We'll have this road come out over here. Would I just set up my water well here? I feel like it's bad practice building right on the state road, but that's what we're doing. 1, 2, 3. And let's just have this dirty road come on out. And we'll get ourselves our extra orchards. Feels like if I have money, I should be spending money to make money. And that it's probably foolish to think otherwise. You'll be raw rubbering, and much the same for you. Ah, there's a tiny little hump in the way. Thank God for terraforming. Playing this game with terraforming off, struggle to imagine it. Now, going over to Germany is probably going to be more efficient to use a warehouse, but I'm not going to. The cost of sending that... Oh, maybe I should. I would almost halve that cost with a warehouse. Because they'd be sent out 2 at a time. Nope, just swallow the cost. I don't want to set up a warehouse yet. It's 2,000 straight off of the 11,000 that I make, making a 9,000 profit, and then you have to take away production costs. But I think it'll be okay. Warehousing idea for you? Godis warehousing. You're going to need to rephrase that one. Username is arson. My head is not parsing it. I am, however, making money. In fact, despite my construction costs, I still made dosh. Maybe they don't count one-time expenses in your over... Oh, no, they don't. They don't. Good. One-time expenses comes in differently. Still, I made a profit last month, as I damn well should. Also, Waterwell has all this water, and I forgot to tell them to actually water my orchards. It would definitely be smart to wait until your water wells actually have water before building these, because then you're not going to waste money on upkeep, but too bad, I'm wasting that money. Yes, Avenue, we managed to fix the map. The problem was that the game crashes if you edit the state lines. So we just don't do that. Ooh, this is a busy place. I see exactly where my problem is, and I'm going to do this. There we go. Now, since we have left-hand drive, they'll go left and left straight into that. And that will be better. I am also thinking we're going to do it like so. That's probably about 30 or 40 extra dollars in transport cost, because it's now a longer way to go. But I'm thinking more about keeping this an efficient in and out line. That's right, always thinking about efficiency, me. Loving making this money, though. Estimated sales to shops about 200 grand. That means that last time we also made another good old 100k surplus there. I should immediately be thinking to myself, how can I make more money? Will anybody buy any of the things that I have researched and am producing? Sending off raw materials like sand and wood to Germany would not be worth the transport costs, but if anybody's going to buy, say, my grapes, then that is a good deal. Once we have our access to ceramics, which is coming along, I am going to set up a train depot. Where's trains? Trains are basic, surely? Oh, in what world are trains advanced? There we go. We're going to build up train terminals and add capacity to them. And then we're going to shunt excess goods down to Iberia. Now, Iberia, I would not have a problem sending my wood down to even. Maybe wood isn't quite worth it. Also, they don't want wood. That's bizarre. I thought every place bought wood. Still, I would certainly have no problem giving them my rubber. But yeah, I'm there to give Iberia the grapes. Sending grapes to Iberia even now might be considered profitable, but the margins would be tiny because it's such a long way to go for my crummy trucks. But if and when I have that train station, I'll have that sold up. So for now, we'll just keep speeding along and continuing to make money and continuing to exploit the coal. And I don't care about the pollution that it makes, because most of it, well, most of it's in my land, but some of it is going in Germany. And we have to defeat those Germans preemptively somehow. Excellent, we've got our ceramics onto the tech tree. We'll get that done in a long time, and then we'll be on to the next ones. I think it might even be worth my time not doing that just now, and instead getting my R&D investment massively increased 2.5 times faster. That will make it a lot easier to get those ceramics. So if I do that first, this is how it goes, right? You just keep pushing and pushing down the things that you need. But trust me, we'll get it done. Yeah, the R&D investment, absolutely worth it. The sooner you can start pumping out more expensive goods, the better. Didn't I get my fancy road? I almost regret doing that now, but there's no need to upgrade these roads just yet. I don't have traffic problems. I'm sure it's not a problem. At least anybody coming out here is not a problem. If I gave them a road leading here, and perhaps even here, would they take those instead and use that as a bypass? They don't want to. Well, I'm gonna make them want to. I believe cars that no longer have their roads in place become these ghost cars that travel exceedingly slowly. But that's alright, as long as I keep this center bit a bit more clear. That does count as connected up, right? Yeah. Just make roundabout. We'll get to that. It's not a problem right now, though. I don't have one-way roads, so roundabouting would be a bit tough. Jake, you sob. Nice to catch you live. Here's from YouTube to say hi to this cancer of a chat. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, where Dewar. But I'm sure your intentions are good. Okay. Are we spending more? No, but now we are. Excellent. That cut almost a year off of researching making ceramics. So I should start thinking about how I'm going to make those ceramics. Coal from the coal mine, sand from the sand mine should be brought together around here. I could level this out at extreme cost to myself. You know what, much as I appreciate all the saving, it's a bit much. Could I change autosave to be 30 minutes, please? We haven't had any issues with the games crashing mid-game. Christmas tin or two. It's a habit of mine. I make loads and loads of saves of ongoing campaigns, knowing that I'm never going to load any of the older ones, but it just puts my heart at ease. Flattening this would cost me everything I have, so that's bad. What if I flattened from one bit up? Still costs me an arm and a leg. Basically, this land isn't good for building on. Doesn't change the fact that I'm going to want myself that factory there. Glassworks and smelters. Oh, but they're quite small. That's convenient. So I just have them on the halfway house around here. They get in the coal, they get in that. I shove it into a warehouse. And I'd probably have the warehouse about here, so that it can also take rubber that goes up to Germany eventually. I'll make sure that there's space for a train line to come out of here and escape. Yeah, that's all going to come together. The ceramics should make me some damn good money. And also a damn load of pollution around here. Maybe I can push the glassworks a bit closer to the German border. Winter in Europe. I am tempted to turn off the winter thing because I don't like looking at this bright white map. Singes the eyes a bit. Okay, how's my competition getting on though? Despite having access to... Oh no, he is drilling out that oil. So the Russian Empire is going to do quite healthy on the money from that. It's not far to transport it, and they're buying up that oil at 11,000 a pop, so good on them. They're warehousing up their chocolate. I've had Russian chocolate. It's really bad. But as long as they sell it at a profit, good for them. How about our friends in Scandinavia? Oh, they're turning Skåne into the plantation field that it was born to be. Rubber, sugar, and more rubber and more sugar. So the Swedes don't get to eat, they have to eat each other. It's cramping in on my my rubber market, though I don't like that. I'm the one that gives Germany their rubber. Yes, Baskinger, we got the issue with the town names fixed. and their placement. So I told the game where to place these cities. So that issue is fixed. It was quite a lot to work around, though. I'm less than impressed by this game's ability for custom content, but we made it work. Anytime that we go along and I'm not building up things for more money, I feel like I'm doing it wrong, and I probably am. I could certainly be making more dosh by growing more grapes and selling them to Iberia, but I'd have to set it up by a warehouse, definitely. But the ground is so ill-suited for it. Could make another warehouse set up here, though. The warehouse packs them denser. Pardon me. Yeah, I think that is the best option. Let's pause in case any of this goes awry. So first and foremost, how's this going to be going in? Stuff in here and out there? I think so. For now, though, it'll just be inny and outy. Later on, though, I suspect I'll make something more complex here, but I don't have the complexities to mind. And we'll have our orchards over here. Ah, water wells are a little bit bigger than I thought. They're 4x4, not 4x4. But with only a minor amount of terraforming, I should be able to give myself a lot of room. And let's get those orchards operational. Right, another please. I guess that will do for now. I actually really like how expensive the upfront costs are for things. Really makes you have to think about it. It's my forte, of course, thinking about things. Beats doing things. There you go, orchards. Now, I've talked about this quite a lot before, but the reason I want to put these grapes into the warehouse is to condense them. I can only make one shipment of grapes from the orchard, but a shipment from the warehouse can pack 2 lots of grapes onto a truck. So that means you're not quite halving your transport costs because there's a dispatch cost. So it's going to cost about $250 to get each of the grapes into this warehouse. But then coming out of here, it should make it a lot better. Just hopefully the cost of having the warehouse isn't going to eat into that too much. So off to the warehouse you go. And off to the warehouse you go. And then you are going to take the grapes and sell them in Iberia. Massive cost of sending them down there, but you're going to be sending 2 at a pop, so make sure you're full, meet demand, and we should be fine. I like how Jake didn't even bother adding separate Balkan countries, just labelled everything into one. Well, what else would I do? I can't go, oh, here's Croatia, here's Serbia, here's Montenegro, here is Greece, Albania, and all the rest. Because there'd be no point in having several dozen cities right here next to each other. It's not that kind of game. Although, I could play it on a larger map and have many more cities, but I'm not looking to play this for hundreds of hours, just dozens. I'm sure you understand, and even if you don't, well, too bad. I think I've just created a new joke point here. Ah well, not a problem. As long as I'm making money, and you better believe I am making money, if you ignore one-time costs, which I do. Water well comes in, get those orchards going. I like having varied industry, but I do think it's stronger to go heavy on one, and for me I'll be going heavy on my sand into glass to ceramics, At least until I can go and exploit that copper. Iberia is actually going to be my wee cash cow with its ironmongery. And funnily enough, I'll be dealing with it without even giving it iron. Just copper and glassy things. Ooh, buttons. Buttons need plastic. Plastic needs gas. I don't have access to gas. Or oil for what it's worth. Diodes. Oh, diodes are worth big bucks, and I have access to everything I need for them. Copper and glass. Right, well, Iberia is going to make me even more money than I expected. I, for one, am proud to be Serbian, says Dissident. You gotta be proud about something, right? Hey, you can be proud for taking part in the retro onslaught. I'm actually quite happy this is making me money. I was a bit worried about my glass and my wood not making the dosh. It's very lazy, but is there any chance you can share the map? Real cities sound like a lot of fun. Yes. I've already told somebody, well, I told Kaladin to remind me once this is done, but more reminders wouldn't hurt. I will share this map for anybody that wants to play on it. I'm assuming that since I feel a way about something, there are bound to be others who feel that way, so I don't feel ashamed, it's not the right word, but I don't feel weird for thinking that I don't like having random blobs of maps. I need a map that I can actually feel something towards, and a map of Europe is something I can have feelings for. Because I know France, I know Britain, I know Spain, I don't know unnamed blob that for some reason has niche Brazilian names on it. Truck dispatch cost reduced by 57% for 24 months. Let us consider that. That's only dispatch cost though, not their entire travel costs. Budget overview. Tell me, how much do I spend on vehicles? There's a vehicle upkeep? Over the last 24 months, I paid 1 million in vehicle upkeep, but I don't know if that's counting discount. I don't know if that is discount costs, dispatch costs or not. Truth be told, I have no idea, so I'm going to take this, assuming nobody outbids me. Yeah, get scrubbed right in life. PR event active. Oh, I guess that means it's active here. Yeah. Every time you said Porto Algiers, I got a very good laugh. Well, you must have been laughing pretty endlessly then. I was saying that a lot. I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce it. Well, I'm supposed to pronounce it any bloody way I choose to. That works out fine for me. Okay, it's time to start thinking about those ceramics. How is that going to work for me? And also, since I do really want that bridge, I should probably do the bridge next, and then following the bridge, I will want to be able to make... what do I need for the diodes? Are they under home goods? They are. Copper tubing, copper wires, and diodes. Well, I didn't actually suspect I would be going that route. This is something I really like about the game. Kind of reminds me of RimWorld in a way. You jump in and you don't really know what your plan is going to be, and you evolve that plan based on the factors around you. I had no idea that Iberia was going to buy in some things that I would have reasonable access to. I suspected due to France's lack of ability to build over to the UK, I'd be pretty stunted on that, but it turns out we could actually punch our way towards ceramics of all things. Now, about those ceramics. In order to make ceramics, it takes 2 glass and 3 sand, and glass itself is sand and coal. That sounds like I'm going to need a metric bollock ton of sand. Let's consider it from the end result point of view. I need to make 3 ceramics every 15 days to saturate that market. So that's one of you. One of you does that part. So then it's the glass part. How fast is glass made? Every 15 days. 2 of to make 2, but I need 6, so I actually need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be 1 additional sand collector to cover that. Alright, so 1 additional sand collector to make the glass. Then we'll make our ceramics. Should be easily done, but I won't make it yet because I don't want to flood my own market with it. I'd have to destroy goods just to maintain an artificial scarcity. Still, we have the power. We should begin making it. Working on train terminal soon, and I will have my train terminal run all the way down to Iberia. I should have the money to do this without too much bother. But... First off, I'm going to flatten this. This will be where my glass factories go. So it's going to go da-da-da-da-da-da. How many of these did we decide that I would need? Jeez, I wish I could keep these things stuck on the screen. And it's funny that I wish that, because I can, can't I? I just leave you there. You're a bit big, probably because I have UI scaling on. One glasswork's going to make 2 of those. 230. So I actually need 3 for the ceramics. Oops, that's not what I want. Give me the glass again. Every 15 days you'll make 2. Come on, brain. Activate. So you need 1 of these to feed 2. Oh, this ratio is going to be off, isn't it? So I'm going to have 3 ceramic places. And if 1 glass can feed 2 of them, I'm going to be overproducing on glass. Which is a shame, but it's probably better still to have it up that way. So 2 for making glass and 3 for making ceramics. Sure. Uh-oh. I don't like the way this is going. Can I make sure that you're lined up on the roads there? Curiously, could I put another one here? Oh, I can, can't I? Means I don't need you down there. Bye-bye. What's the problem now? Didn't I just build you there? I think that one is the problem. There we go. Is there a glass demand? I don't think so. Glass would only be demanded in a 3rd shop, and this one doesn't want glass. I'll just have to put up with the fact that I slightly overproduce glass. No. That sand might even benefit from flowing in this direction, given the way it's going. So, sand collector number 2. Being there. Sand collection 102030. Doesn't matter that these are crappy dirt roads. That's actually a nasty crisscross with them, but too bad. This, however, will be urban roaded out to here. I want this to work. So it's time for some terraforming. Except it doesn't like that because that bit I built there. There we go. That'll give that sand away in here. Actually, all the sand is going to need to go in there one way or another. I'm going to stop selling sand to France since I suspect that the amount that I make off of it is... Oh, you know, it's not that bad, actually. Might not be a bad idea to just make another sand collector here and maintain selling France some sand. It'll also help France grow, I suppose. And there's very little reason to take away from money that I'm making. Alright, well, I'm sold. Plus, I set up this area for doing exactly that. So despite the slightly fierce terraforming costs, let there be more sand. Oh, I can even get sand out of that little puddle there? I am a lucky bugger then. And there. Why not? It might be worth it to set up a warehouse for the sand transportation. Seems like a lot of trucks. Down the line, yes. For now, no. For now, it's fine. Plus, all of this is going to be a bit of a mess, and then I'm probably going to migrate, and with lots of money and tech, set up another place to be better. At least that's the plan, right? Didn't I have that similar sort of plan for Railway Oh, that's not what I want. For Railway Empire. Okay, you are not selling to the hardware store. What was it? 3 of them for glass, right? For ceramics. Ceramics, ceramics, and ceramics. Thank goodness this isn't done with the game unpaused. Doing all this without pause would be so stressful for me. And if I'm going to play a stressful game, I'm going to play Zoop. Also, I'm never playing Zoop again. There we go, that's a way for the coal to come on in. And just to refresh our heads, every 15 days we're going to make 4 bits of glass. And every 15 days we're going to eat 3 bits of glass, so that's alright. Coal mine, always keep 2 bits of coal on hand. And that coal will be sent to these smelters. Please tell me you don't need coal. You don't need coal. Good. Very good. Make sure they have 2 bits of coal on hand before you sell anything to hardware store there. A small buffer, not one worth worrying about. Now you need to send to these smelters. Make sure they have 2. I am definitely going to be backing up on glass here. I can smell it already. Hopefully I'll find some other use for all this glass. One can only hope. Still, there we go. It will take some time for that to back up. So now it's just a question of getting the sand to these guys. Also, this has cost me a lot of money and it's not finished yet. So your demand is for 2 bits of sand every 15 days. These guys make 3 bits of sand every 15 days. Hang on, that means I could control the production of glass from this end. Ho ho ho! That is delightfully devilish. Great, now we won't be swimming in glass. That is excellent. Means you don't even need to go to hardware store anymore. You can just go there and there. Make sure they don't have more than, I don't know, like 4 bits of sand backed up. No need to keep any. And then the glasswork smelters need 3 whole bits of sand every 30 days. So that's 1.5 of these dedicated. Does that mean you would work out fine then? Glassworks and smelter 1 and 2 are going to be eating 1, 2, 3, 4 every 15 days, and that makes it 5, 6. Where is it? And a third. Every 15 days, I need 1.5, 3, 4.5. Ah, no, that's slightly not enough. Okay, I thought I could have something beautiful, but I could not. Smelt, smelt, and smelt some more. Also, I made a mistake. You should be selling excess to the hardware store there. There was no reason to not have it go that way. Tell you what, we'll do it like this. You are going to do number 5 and 4. You are going to do number 3 and 4. And you'll both also do the hardware store. Keep those guys topped up on sand, heavens knows they need it. And any excess that is made will be going to the shop. There, that should work out very nicely. It wouldn't work out nicer probably with a warehouse, but we're getting there. So now everything is in place for the production of glass. It's just a question of moving that glass down to Iberia. I will set up a temporary... Well, it's not temporary, it is our warehouse, but in time, it'll be more than just a warehouse. That's the anyway. Can I fit you here? I can fit you here. Well, that's really rather nice. It's gonna suck if I want to expand my amount of stuff here, but that's alright for now. Excellent. So, you're going to send all of your glass over to this warehouse. And this warehouse will dispatch all of the glass, which is a tier 2 item. Tier 2 already. Lovely. Straight to the ironmongery. There's no point in setting up an adjoining or another receptive warehouse here. Meet demand, make sure you're only sending one. And look at that, the cost of going all the way to Iberia is only 2,000, and it'll be selling 88,000 worth of ceramic. So, assuming this works, assuming I haven't goofed up creating this supply line, we should be relatively in the money, making an additional, probably about 100,000 per month. Well, there's a lot of expenses on top of that, isn't there? How much do these cost? Okay, maybe like 50,000 extra a month. So, first off, the glass works. They've got their coal, they're waiting on their sand. It's the hold up sand. There we go, got the sand. They're starting to make the glass. The glassworks have got their sand. Oh, my train terminal is operational already. I could set that up. However, the costs of shipping to Iberia aren't that heavy right now. I'm not sure I want to spend my very little money on that right now. Yeah, the dispatch costs to Iberia for this warehouse aren't high enough for me to justify that right now, I think. What's your problem? Probably just taking a bit of time before the glass and such evens out. Trains do not go over mountains well, says Kaladin. On top of that, I don't have access to bridges and things, do I? So I'm not sure I'd be able to get around the roads that I've put down already. You need 2 bits of glass to get started, don't you? So you're not starting up yet. Yeah, but you're getting there. There we go. Need tunnels or blimps, and tunnels are very, very expensive. We'll make do. So the initial cost of getting these operational is eating into my money. However, now that they are pumping them out, should be okay. Get that tunnel and bridge going. I don't know how expensive it's going to be to bridge over to Britain, but we'll figure it out. I mean, I could... Thinking about it, I didn't have to wait. I could have just terraformed over to Britain. It's not that expensive. But I really, really want to avoid terraforming the map of Europe here. Because otherwise I could just go, oh, it's a bit of a pain having all this land here. Let's just flatten it, and then... Oh, I should do it somewhere that I... Let's just flatten it. And then suddenly it's not really Europe that I'm playing on anymore. So we'll just swallow the costs of doing bridges until the game reveals to me that it is way too much that I'm willing to pay. So Iberia, how do you feel about me bringing you ceramics? You don't feel anything because they haven't made it yet, have they? Plenty of grapes. And it's growing just from tasting superior grapes. Remember, when Iberia produces wine, it's not a trade good, it's a trade bad. Do we have our ceramics made yet? Ah, right, there we go. Ah, no, there is one of them on their way to that ironmongery. There we are. You'll make certain Brits burst a blood vessel connecting us to France, Jake. Do it. Heavens, no. Did you just drive over that? It's odd. Still, in you go, and just like... Oh my goodness, my sales to shops just jumped up there. R&D expenses are kicking my ass, but that's okay. The sooner we research more, the sooner we get more money to make. Once we have tunnels and bridges, it's off to Britain, and as soon as I can exploit that copper, I will be selling copper wires, diodes, and copper tubing. Oh, right, that's me able to put that glass to use, because I should be overproducing glass. Haha. Clever. Very clever. See, this guy, he's not working because the sand collector... Well, my sand is not delivering enough sand to them, are they? Reminding myself that your demand is for... Yeah, for more than that. And I'll probably get this guy to send the excess sand over there to make that glass. The question is just how many diodes do you want? 3 every 15 days? That's 3 bits of glass every 15 days. Which you don't do. You do 2 every 15 days. However, that would be the extra 1 there, so I would actually want another glassworks smelter just for that. Lovely. We can make that happen. Unfortunately, it's taking a while for me to get my bridges, but once I got my bridges, these guys are next. It makes sense to do bridges first, though, since I can't get access to the copper without it. I also want to figure out, am I saving money thanks to that PR thing that I got? Unfortunately, there's a lot of nonsense here. Over the, well, let's say in all time, let's clear everything here, and we're only looking at vehicle upkeep. Okay, maybe past 24 months then. This must be when I got my PR thing. Because I'm certainly not sending fewer trucks. So actually, I have made great savings. I only paid 150,000 for it. And every month... Yeah, I'm paying a lot less. Well, I like that. Those fools didn't take the PR. Remember, it's not about winning or losing, it's about making people believe that you have won or lost. That's strange, he tore down his oil well. Was he creating too much pollution close to his home? I actually don't know why he would tear that down. What's this island called here? The glorious sugar of Scandinavia. madness. I'm surprised you haven't drowned the Dutch so far. Well, it's alright, we're going to be gassing the Dutch here. Once I get access to Germany. Come to think of it, if I got I would probably take out a loan for the ability to build in Germany. It's got good amounts of flat land, although still terraforming would be ideal. But the ability to have gas and iron ore to hand, especially when Iberia's ironmongery is hungry for iron. Let's see, steel is made from coal. Oh my goodness, yeah. Getting access to Germany would be lucrative for me. My favourite place on the map is the Commonwealth, just because it's so good for building on. Germany's got those resources, though. There are sugar beets grown in Scandinavia, only it's sugar beets rather than sugar cane. Beetroot's lovely, though. I'm assuming there's very little difference between a sugar beet and a beetroot. Which might be a folly. Alright, hard to deny that I'm making money, but I am also not making enough money. Jake can barely contain his deep desire to invest in Eastern Poland. Thinly veined desire, at least. Thinly veiled, rather. Heavens knows it's not in vain. I'll be honest, game, I was hoping to be making more money. Yeah, that's the more money I'm talking about. Ah, right, of course, the big problem is that I'm spending so much in R&D. But at least everything that I'm producing appears to be selling quite nicely. Still unsure if I'm making money on the wood or not. I'll just tell myself that I am. It'll be easier for me that way. No, I'm in France, Wellington. Nobody is embracing their inner Slav here. The Balkans are actually a pretty good option as well. In terms of landmass, they might have the most in the game, more than the Commonwealth, because they've got access to Anatolia as well. But Anatolia is not great for building on. What the Balkans have are oil and gas, because Crimea belongs to the Balkans, not the Russian Empire. So, what would the Balkans do with that? If I were playing Balkans, well, I would immediately be tapping that oil for all that it's worth. It would be worth going over for the gas, get a warehouse to send it over to the Balkans, and there's 2 bits of easy industry without having to spend a penny. They buy wood as well, and look at all this wood, so there we go, 3 industries. On top of that, what are we looking at? No good synergies here, so you would just pick any of these that you like. So they could be making their Balkan berries. Oh, no, chicken, of course. Chicken's decent enough. So that would be research grain, make chickens, sell chicken meat and eggs. And we're going to need chickens for our Christmas dinner later on. Wonder if I could just open the game and rename it to Turkey. The lovely thing is the Balkans do have possibility to road their way over to Crimea. This represents something of a problem, but it would cost very little to terraform it in. This is looking a bit nasty. I suspect these people are not going to be very happy with all this pollution in the air, but I'm not going to clean it up. That's for other people to think about. Pollution's harder to see in the winter. Oh yeah, we're currently in France here, Jeff. Right, next big thing comes with tunnels and bridges. I just wish I had more money as usual. Not like in this though, Life LLP continues to grow in Scandinavia suspiciously well, I might add. You know, Scandinavians are chowing down their fruits and things. Still don't really understand what this bar represents. Maybe it's capacity? Since that... yeah, it must be. It looked at about 4% of the bar, and now it's all gone because they ate all their fruits. So Scandinavians do actually get to eat now, although it's just eating apples. Gotta buy Germany fast before the Swedes get into it. Fortunately, nobody can buy any bit of land without other people getting in on it. Unless there are other ways to get that I don't know of. Okay, we can now build bridges. And I wish to build my bridge. How much do bridges cost? A lot less than I thought. I thought it would be like 500,000 to bridge over to Blighty, but it isn't. Okay. Copper tubing, then copper cabling, then diodes. And all these two need are copper. I don't see any reason not to just carpet England with pollution, so we could do all of our industry with copper over there. Downside is this. Come on, England's one of the flattest places I've been. How could they have this? Terraforming that out is out of the question. So I'm just going to have to deal with the situation. I'm going to make a save, because I feel like I haven't saved in quite a while. Just save over this one. I don't feel that I'm going to be clawing my way back. You could use boats for England. I would have to research how to make boats. And they are apparently advanced distribution. Yeah, I'm certainly not going for that. How do we got those ceramics? They were a tricky one to get researched. Hopefully I don't do any third line research for quite a while, because that stuff is expensive and takes forever. It was 2 million to get ceramics and cost us most of a year. And truth be told, it would probably have been better to research other things. Like if I saturated France with vegetables and mutton and stuff, I probably would make more money and get it operational faster. But that stuff wouldn't be as dense, and France does not have a lot of good land for building on. In fact, I've taken up most of it with rubber and vines. If this stuff were all flattened, and I will eventually flatten it, that would be perfect, but for now that's way too expensive. Still, that's not what we're thinking about. We're thinking about how to deal with England. Or really Cornwall here. I wish to gather that copper with mine own copper mine. I need to grab all of them, like so. And 1, 2, 3. Holy moly, this is costing me more money than I thought. And that's going to need to be taken to a factory. Thinking about it, I shouldn't have put that down, because I can't actually put this copper to use until I... Yeah, you're not going to buy raw copper. I can't use it. What am I thinking? There we go. Need to wait until I get my tubing first. Although it won't take long, there's no way I'm paying upkeep on something I'm not using. Doesn't look like the pollution is pushing into danger zone here next to France. I'm assuming, like all cities, Ile-de-France's or Paris's air is horrible to breathe. The price of apples will go up a ton for 18 months. Well, the French don't even eat apples, so I have no reason to care about that. Also, having that go through would be beneficial for Scandinavia, so I don't want that. Are any cities going to be burnt down like in Patrician? There's no benefit in burning them down in Patrician, but I don't think I'll be doing that. The harm I'll be doing to countries is choking them with horrible pollution, creating buildings like this. Italy, for example, I could just nuke the whole place with whatever industry we feel like and not care about the pollution. Then again, that pollution would spread to the water and pollute all of the Mediterranean, which might, in a way, be poetic. Okay, time to start doing some calculations on our copper. I need both of these saturated. 8 and 9. So I want 4 copper. Well, actually, I'm going to be stuck on just how much copper I'm able to pull out of the ground, haven't I? Right, we'll get that done first then. I had a hiccup that just died inside me there. Okay. Down you go. 1, 2, 3. I can't have 4 or 5, but that might make it beneficial to me to ignore the it's a diode, right? Ignore the diode for now and actually get better at drilling that land out. There's something for for that. Harvesters. Orchard, crops, plantations, land harvesting. Yeah, might be better to be able to tap all that copper to make more money before I start thinking about the diodes. But then I will be thinking about the diodes because diodes are money. Okay. For now, you only get me 3 per month, but it can go up, 3 per 15 days, but it can go up to 5. So the question I must ask myself is, what am I going to make the most money on in Iberia? Really? It was a folly to do tubing without copper wiring, because copper wiring is the precursor to diodes, which is what I want in the end, isn't it? Yeah. But for now, I could just have copper tubing, because both are done in the glasswork and smelter. So, factory, glasswork and smelter. And this stuff should just be instantly going over here. There really is no reason to think otherwise, is there? Yeah. Question is, how many are we going to be doing? Copper tubing. Put down a second mine to grab the last 2. I could, but I don't want to pay for 2 mines here. These mines are expensive. And I do not have tons of money right now. Although I can and likely will take out a loan. Deficit spending, right? That's what it's all about. So every 15 days you're going to make 2 of those. So actually, I'm just saturating my copper needs with this. 1, 2, 3. Urban road it all up. And I will need a warehouse for this. I don't think there's any big problem with just bringing it down in trucks. The trucks can come down here. I could even bring them along through here to get onto this main line. Yeah, I don't really see the problem. There's no need to build up expensive train stations right now. I don't like your position there, though. I really do not like it. But it's there or there. Yeah, there's no biggie in changing this thing's location, is there? Down the line. Yeah, you know, I bet the British didn't put much thought into how they do their coastal warehouses here, and I should not be constrained by it either. There you go. So that's going to come down. I would like it to nuzzle its way through here. Is that gonna do it? Is that even gonna put it where I want it? Maybe maybe no, but either way, in you go. Vroom vroom, vroom vroom, all the way down to Iberia. The cost isn't gonna be that bad, especially since it's such high payoff for me. Sadly, it's only a tier 1 good, isn't it? Copper tubing, sell it to Iberia's ironmongery. See, dispatch cost isn't that high. It's only 2,000. It'll be fine. Oh, right, I didn't set this up at all, did I? Oh, I have a problem now. You only have few destinations. That means when I add more drillers out to you, it's gonna have to go into the warehouse anyway, isn't it? Yeah, do I have any research that will give more destination slots? Logistical administration? Storage? Distribution? Farms, gatherers, and factories get 3 more destination slots. Yeah, I'm gonna need that. Yoink. Very good. In fact, this isn't even as necessary as getting that for now. So I'll get those 2. And then I will work my way to diodes. because I don't think it's worth my time having this guy delivered to the warehouse, only for the warehouse to deliver it right back. So there we go, and you guys throw it over there. So this might seem a little strange, right? It only costs... Let's go to this guy. For this guy to send his copper wiring over to the warehouse, which is next door, costs 120 for 3 tiles of movement. Why then does the warehouse cost about 2 grand to go that way? Surely it would be much more. That's almost 100 times, but it's not 100 times the cost. It's because of the dispatch cost. I believe trucks only pay $10 per tile driven. Jake, are you anti or pro Age of Piracy for a theme for a video game? What kind of piracy are we talking about? Eye patches and R, or downloading a car? Because I'm pretty yes to both of them. Can an empty truck return to the warehouse? Probably not, so I should strongly consider looping this around. Video game piracy is a theme for a game, now there's an idea. One of those game-making games had that in it, but I think that was used as a publicity stunt. People who pirate my games find their games pirated in the game, blah blah blah. I played the game, it wasn't very good. Can't remember what it was called though, probably Game Dev Tycoon. If you want to play a game about making games, play Game Dev Story. It's a mobile game. It's also a very good mobile game. What's taking you so long, copper mine? Give me that copper. These tubes won't make themselves. A certain Romanian had issues with this game's graphical style. Something about it being very stock Unity looking, but I actually quite like it. I think it's quite well done. But my tastes are all over the place, so I'm not going to say I'm right on that. I will say, however, that I am losing money. A lot of money, and I don't like it. What cost me so... Oh, right, it's all these one-time costs. Even so, though, product sold... It's the R&D expenses, of course. They're giving me a run for it. Deliver leather to Germany. I am not setting up and researching everything I need to produce leather. And I don't think anybody took that. Could make more money out of my copper mine exploiting these straight away. There we go. Out goes the copper wire. It's a long journey for them, but once they make that journey... I don't like the idea that part of their journey is done on crummy dirt roads there. I'll save you. Okay, copper wires and diodes. Do I want you exploiting these and making more? There's very little reason for you not to. I don't need to worry about water pollution, I think, unless you can't harvest water from polluted sources. And if that's the case, then too bad for me, I guess. France is worried about England's advancements. I'm only producing 6 copper wires every 15 days. They're hungry for 8. So I could very easily, right now, add an additional harvest. Wait, where's my extra harvester? Don't tell me I did the wrong thing. Oh, I didn't do it at all. I cleared it away. Whoops. Somebody saw me do that and is sniggering to themselves. Your map name goes here. Ah, right. Well, no, it's the name of the map. I can't call the map Saving Christmas Dinner. There we go. Go with Europa. How could you be missing... Oh, right, didn't I choke your glass needs there? It's not a problem, though. At least it's not my problem. Right, that fat stack of cash coming in, I dare to assume, is me selling all of those copper wires. But R&D expenses are really starting to kick my ass. Without them, I'd be in the money, and that's my favorite place to be in. I love the simple style, the clean style of the UI, and a very clean typography as well. That is quite good. And it's got UI scaling, which I always appreciate in a game. Excellent, now I can get extra extraction going. For now, though, I only need one there. How is this going to go in? Can I slap you down there cheekily? I absolutely can. 600,000. Not sure this guy pays for himself quite well enough. Still, you can deliver there. I wonder if, at this point, it wouldn't be too bad for you to have an extra harvester just to kickstart things a bit faster. These guys have a bit of downtime, and I don't appreciate that. Ah, you know to shove everything into Warehouse 3. Good, 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 good. Okay, now I'm onto my copper wires and diodes. Yes, there are trains in this game, Hark. Harkinian. You can't measure all gains in profits in pure money. Some of it is in pollution and misery. It's disgusting how Scandinavians are having this beautiful, clean, pollution-free, healthy life. Eating their apples with their sugar beets and chocolates. Even the Russians. Taking the fruits of the earth. No, man's gift is the gift he gives himself. Stomp the bugs, chop the trees, burn the bush. Okay, onwards to diodes. It's not chocolate, Jake, it's raw cocoa. Yes, and they have the sugar to turn it into a good old cup of hot cocoa or similar. I am very surprised at these things having downtime. How can that be? Oh, I think the pennies just dropped for me here. Every 15 days you make 5, but every 15 days you want 2 and 2 and 2, which is 6. So actually this extra one is not good. I can't even keep up with these guys' demand for copper. I miscalculated because I thought this copper tubing took 30 days, not 15. Well, that is a shame. In that case, I want you to stop delivering to Smelter 9. Once Smelter 9 has finished its last bit there, then it will be destroyed. Hang on, hold that thought. Hold it as hard as you can. If you were to make copper wire, we'd be on the same story but making more money, question mark? You'd be making slightly less money. But I'm going to need that copper wire for diodes. Okay, we'll do copper tubing for now. Is this where I make the diodes, though? No. What, where, and how do I make the diodes? Also, couldn't I get my sand from here? Might be better to have my industry tightly connected. The Cornwall fish taste metallic by this point. Come on, what kind of pollution do you even produce when you're just gathering this copper? I'm sure it's nothing worth caring about. No, the glass is made here next to that sand. I don't want to move a glassworks smelter over here for no good reason. But sucks to lose this money, but bye-bye. So when this shifts out to becoming making copper wire, the copper wire will be turned into diodes in a goods factory. Home goods factory costs $500,000. So I would just thunk that down here. I would expand my glass production, which is currently a little too controlled for my liking. Run the numbers again. I'm not entirely sure about it. Takes 30 days. But I only need one diode factory to meet demand, don't I? Yes, I... Oh, no. That's 3 every 15 days. That's 1 every 15 days. So I actually need 3 of these. Just 3 bits of glass in a month. Currently off by 2 here. But I think I would want another glasswork factory here regardless. You're not oversaturated on sand, are you? Oh, far from it. So actually setting up more sand gathering to fuel another glasswork should be okay. Sand goes to the glass. The glass deliver 17 beef to France. Again, not happening. Yeah, the glass will make a rather arduous journey over here. Would make my life a bit easier if I could have a bridge here, though. Is such a thing even It is? I don't think that's how it works, game. Let's try that again. Ah. Wait, what the heck is it doing on the other side? I'm not sure the game is generating this bridge the way I'm thinking of it. That, however, works. And it's not that expensive. Surprisingly inexpensive, even. Oh, that is an awful intersection. I'm going to hate that later on. But for now, it's not important. And there's very little point in having dirt roads at this point, so any that are here shall be destroyed. The cost of upgrading these is minimal. And the benefit is practically non-existent. But for me, I just don't want to be seeing dirt roads anymore. I think that's a lot. There. Glorious. The roads do they will affect congestion and movement speed massively. In fact, I believe trucks move twice as fast along urban roads than dirt roads. And that will, by extension, reduce congestion. But it doesn't make things more profitable. The speed at which a truck covers land does not affect the cost of sending it. There we go. So with that all connected up, pretty much just waiting on my diodes. I don't think diodes represent a leg up in the amount of money that I'm going to be making, sadly.